I mean, we absolutely dominate. We are the top.
We own it.
We are top. No, we don't own it, but we are top.
We
basically own it.
Can you imagine getting up in the ready and then like, oh shit, they're attacking.
Battery low. Tink.
Yeah, you're aiming down range. You left the battery still in your bunk. That's all the time we got for you.
Yeah. Don't make me remind you who's in charge here.
Whoa. Put the knife in.
If I'm sweating and you're standing still, you're about to find out.
Hey there, Midnighters and Moonlighters. This is your closer-in-chief with the check-in. Tonight's memo from management reads as follows. Employees are strictly prohibited from engaging in interdimensional political grandstanding, inconclusive hieroglyphic studies, or microwaving anything containing fish while on the clock. Management would also like to remind staff on the 17th floor that any task performed for more than 10 uninterrupted minutes in front of the clock, on the clock, or under the clock may result in termination, as such activity can trigger anomalous chronographic events. Management is happy to help interrupt your minutes, but will not tolerate tasks performed behind the clock, as intangibility is simply considered showing off. And hey, if you've ever had to remind someone to act their wage, hit those like and subscribe buttons. This one's for you.
Welcome to Nightwatch. This is your closer-in-chief. I'm here with Big Smoke, and finally joining us after
his sabbatical,
Jolly Green. Welcome back to the show.
Hello.
Aloha.
Hello, everybody. What was that stuff we were moving with drip?
The dip. That was
the dip. I know it was a long time ago. I'm telling you, that stuff made me sicker than a dog.
Christ, man. On a bit that didn't work.
It didn't.
Huh?
It didn't work?
Well, no, it's just more of a, like, I'm actually kind of preferring to keep the fictional stuff out that happens around the podcast show outside of the non-fictional talk show.
Well, that's stupid.
Well, I mean, I'm not exactly a great script writer. You're not a great script reader.
Oh, my God.
I mean,
True. Play to our advantages, you know.
Exactly.
What I mean?
Plus, like I said, I'm having more fun of it, having that little personalized control space of being able to, write and tell stories with the thumbnail artwork, with the check-ins and stuff. That's just something that I'm enjoying and something that I've always wanted to do as far as having a platform to do so with.
Yes, I do like it as well.
Yeah, but as far as this show goes, the actual Nightwatch podcast, this is just three guys that close way too much.
Yep.
More caffeine in our blood than blood.
What really should, which is FDA recommended.
No joke.
I'm pretty sure we mathed it out one time. I typically consume about 2,500 milligrams of caffeine a day.
Jeez.
Yeah, the average cup of coffee has about 180. Strong coffee or energy drinks usually running around that 250 to 300 range. So it's.
I'm about 2 cans of coffee and depending on the night, 2.5 Red Bulls.
Yeah.
If I can. Other than that,
Red Bulls don't do it for me, man. They taste good, but I don't.
Coffee doesn't.
I can't do Monster unless it's an emergency.
Well, Monster's got a lot of sugar in it.
Yeah.
I mean, Red Bull doesn't have an insignificant amount of sugar in it, but it's not as much.
I mean,
unless it's an emergency, I can't do Monster.
Every close 4 or 5 coffees from Speedway. I mean,
Yeah, I mean the convenience store coffee, it'll get me through in a pinch. But
I prefer that than the rest of them. She always wants to go to Dunkin'. She wants to go to Tim's, and that tastes disgusting in my opinion. I'd rather have a downright Cohen or a Speedway or just.
You know what it is, and I learned this because a guy that when I was doing barista work, doing seasonal work, I worked at a cafe. Mm-hmm. And a guy that I worked with there, he was like an assistant manager at a Starbucks or something like that, but he learned real barista training.
Yeah.
And I found out that apparently the rumor is Starbucks and other like major coffee places and stuff, because of their storage practices, they actually send out the bags of coffee when they hit the stale point that's when they send them out to the coffee shops. Whenever they're in storage, they have a certain shelf life of the beans, not necessarily fermenting, but they gasify.
Yeah.
And so there's a little pop-up stem in the bags. And when that stem pops,
That's when they send it out.
That's when they send it out, and that's whenever it's hitting its stale point. But if they do it that way, it keeps a consistent flavor of the coffee. So people have gotten used to drinking stale coffee.
Really? That's crazy.
That is so
That's some
wrong.
Deep lore right there.
Yeah,
That is so freaking wrong. And I actually hate that coffee. I do. I hate that. And it's funny enough, I won't drink the freaking, our Speedway coffee. I have to see that fool putting that sucker in there. Because I was like, my first question is like, hey, dude, how long has this been out here? How long has this been sitting out? How long? If it's more than a couple of hours, dude, can you make a fresh batch? Because this ain't doing it for
I've
me.
seen them dip their fingers in it, and I'll get right up after them, like,
No, I mean, it's got to be fresh for me. Oh, no.
There's nothing like out of all the K-cups you can get and everything else. There's nothing like brewing. I mean, grounding your beans up, but I don't do all that. Getting a Folgers, getting in the normal pot brewer.
Yeah, just burn your own
brewing
coffee.
your own
coffee.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I got real spoiled because I used to do the whole home brew coffee and stuff like that. But then I was only drinking like maybe 1.5 cups of coffee, and I'm wasting a whole pot of coffee when I'm at home.
Yeah.
Now, when I'm out and about, I got to rush and I got to move about. Then it's easily 3 or 4 cups of coffee.
Yeah.
But I started wasting coffee. I'm like, and then somebody, I forgot who, actually brought me one of them like miniature K-cup, the one I brought to the office.
Yeah, so you brew 1 cup at a time.
Just 1 cup at a time. I hit that thing, and I got addicted. I'm like, dude, and hey, awesome. I don't
For quickness, like
yeah,
it is
I don't
really
waste
easy.
no cup of coffee. You know me, I'm stingy. I don't like spending too much money, and I was bougie. I had the the $30 a bag coffee. I mean, that coffee was nice and tasty when it was fresh. But I'd waste it, and I'm like, wait, I'm going through this whole bag of coffee. I'm like, man, I'm only getting $5 out of this thing.
When I wasn't working, I'd brew a pot, 12 cups. That'd last me the day. I drink 12 cups a day every single fucking day.
12 cups measuring cup
like you
wise.
said, if
You're not
you
drinking
don't, yeah, no,
but
I
but
hope not.
I mean, depending on the cup size too. But like you said, if you don't want to drink it all day and you don't want to waste it, and I'll be honest, when I went to Wisconsin, they had a K-cup thing up there, and I was like, oh, that tasted so good. It tasted better than the brewed, and I was like, there's no way, you know what I mean? But I don't know. K-cups may be where it is.
Back on point. Get back on target here.
but yeah, so coffee is just absolutely.
Is this the episode? Coffee beans?
No, this is the opening banter.
No,
I know.
Topic, tangent, closing.
Now we need an episode just for.
Yeah, there's gonna be a primer. I'm just gonna get you some episode notes. I'm just gonna
get you working.
I'm gonna get a big poster that just has like the time stamps out.
There's a lot of like the real expensive Rifle Coffee Company.
Yeah,
we talked about Rifle.
Yeah.
Not Death Wish, but really a lot of caffeine in it, and I cannot remember. I want to say Death Wish, but it's not Death Wish.
I'm pretty sure it is Death Wish coffee.
See, the problem with me is I'd like to fact check stuff, but I can't spell worth a lick, so I have to talk. And I'm
that
like,
one, yeah.
Yes, is it called Death Wish?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, absolutely. I can't see that far either. I'm
That's right.
half blind as well, which that one's a lie, but.
All right, so but yeah, like I said, I spent a lot of time with that doing the cafe thing. Well, not a lot of time, but I spent 2 summers worth and learned a lot.
Yeah.
So the coffee that we sold there, the Montana Coffee Traders coffee, they had a local brewery there, or I don't know what a coffee house is called, but so it's their local blend. They have the bean storage and everything there, and they would send their training reps out to teach us how to brew their coffee so that we were making it correctly.
Correct.
And they taught us a bunch of the stuff, like how to make, the difference between a cappuccino, like a latte, and what a red eye is.
The sizes too, venti.
Well, no, that's
no. Okay, I try to be part of it. I'm sorry.
It's basically basically everything. If you want to break it down real simplified, everything's a latte. It just depends on how much steamed milk, foamed milk, hot milk, and coffee.
Oh, really?
There is, yeah.
There's a lot of science that goes into a good. cup of coffee. I mean, you could do it.
Or can be, but
Do you see like the what is that? They have like you grind your own beans and then you put it in the thing and it kind of smashes it down into a perfect little puck. Then you'll put it, and that's a cappuccino. Am I correct? Or
so that's an espresso shot.
Espresso shot.
That's how you set up an espresso shot.
Some of them people, I mean, it looks like a damn still. It looks like a science. They got beakers and stuff, and they're doing their whole thing to make just this one cup of coffee. And I'm like, God, that has to be good.
Yeah, like I said, it's just you measure out the amount of coffee, the amount of espresso, the amount of milk, the amount of steamed milk, and, foam and everything else. So it just really comes down to taste and preference.
Yeah.
But whenever it comes to making it the same way, right? So there has to be consistency across the brand and across coffee houses.
Do not like espresso. It tastes
Probably
like
never
liquor.
had good espresso.
It tastes like liquor. She gets these coffee. She's like, "Oh my God, it's so good."
So again, if you're getting espressos from Tim Hortons, or
Dunkin', Starbucks,
that's stale coffee. That's not going to be good espresso.
See, the coffee is not bad. Which I don't like the coffee preferably, but I don't mind the coffee. It's when she gets the espresso in it, and then she gets espresso. She's like, she knows that I don't, folks. I don't like liquor. Everyone likes getting fucked up. I do not like the taste. I squirm, I scream, I do all manner of faces, and it's bad. So she knows that, and she'll go, "Oh, try drinking this. It's so good." And I'm like, "Oh, really?" And I'll drink it. And I'm like, "Oh my God!"
I find it really interesting how much a woman is trying to corrupt you, man.
I don't know. She might be trying to kill me, and I keep telling her there's no policy on me. There's no life insurance. My job does not provide life insurance for you.
That don't mean she can't take one out.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Maybe she's.
Wait, let me back up. I am not in any way saying that your woman is trying to kill you, but it sounds like your woman's trying to kill you.
It sounds like she's trying to civilize you, domesticate you.
Domesticate me,
yeah.
She's trying to fucking kill you.
I will say
domesticate the wolf. No, when the wolf's hungry, he eats. I'm sorry.
I don't eat leaves.
Yeah, we don't eat what the food eats. We eat the food. God.
I will say though,
the domesticating of man is starting to. It gets on my freaking nerves. I mean, come on, dude.
Last relationship, something happened with a frying pan. I don't know if someone got hit. All I know is they haven't heard from him since, and that's I don't know what to take from that. I really don't.
Oh no! I don't even know if I want to meet this woman of yours, dude. I don't even know.
God, here 2 weeks.
You changed, man.
2 weeks.
You changed.
Here in 2 weeks, I'm gonna come home and it's gonna be, well, what's wrong? Nothing. And I want to not realize that I said this shit and she listened to it.
That is the day that he knew he effed up.
Ladies and gentlemen, if Jolly Green stops coming to the show
2 weeks from now.
Yeah. How do we know that you're sick? She's poisoning you.
That's why you've been missing so much.
That's what it is, too.
Trying to recuperate from
you're actually tasting the arsenic in the coffee.
Yeah, the failed assassination.
No, it's supposed to taste like that.
Holy shit, it's not espresso. It really is arsenic. Don't say that, because now I'm actually...
You're saying get you a royal taste tester.
Oh, dude.
Oh, my God. Speaking of royal taste testers, I saw a Twitter post that somebody pointed out, how many royal taste testers do you think were executed because they were just allergic to whatever the king was eating that day?
Oh, dude.
Holy shit.
Nah, I think they probably really were trying to kill that dude. I mean, to even have a need for a royal taster, somebody's actually trying to kill you. I mean, those monarchs weren't good people.
Yeah, but I mean, they get the taste tester that's allergic to onions, and they just happen to have liver and onions dish that night, and these taste.
I'm more of a mind that the folks actually they were trying to kill you.
I don't know.
There were some hardy people back then.
Or sorry, the cooks. How many cooks were executed because of a taste tester that it was allergic to? But but it's not like people really knew about allergies back then.
No,
it boils back down to another point that I saw that I want to talk to you guys about. Whenever it comes to the ideas of magic and the mysteries of versus real world applications, right? And to give a very specific, really good example that I saw, it was talking about some little statue that was carved out of this weird rock, and it looked really cool. It was really nice, really well carved statue. but it was considered cursed because every owner of this statue mysteriously died.
Was it Egyptian?
No.
Oh.
But they found out that the stone that the statue was carved from was radioactive.
Oh, shit.
So people were dying from radiation poisoning. Everybody who owned the statue was around it all the time. But it was back before they knew what radiation was or to ever have it tested. So the curse was actually killing people. You know, the thing was killing people, but they didn't know the why.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, how much of that really carries into now? How much stuff is, you know, still considered, you know, supernatural?
When it really wasn't. I like to think anything you see that they've said, I mean, they're going to be like, I don't know, this fucking pterodactyl back in the, you know what I mean? When they were long dead. I'm sure they've seen something. That's like they show like the little carvings and it looks like a fucking space dude on a rock. Or animals that we don't know of today. I'm sure they've seen something to make them carve that. Now, if their mind is kind of like branching out and putting some liberties in there, they've seen something. Now, I'm not saying that a spaceman came down or not. I'm saying they've seen something.
Yeah, you talk about like with the how the I think it's the Mayans or the Aztecs. They had carvings of these figures that were descending from a fiery chariot from the skies.
And they looked like they had a helmet on.
They look like astronauts,
yeah,
but you know, depicted in this very mystical fashion, like gods. Yeah.
Look, man,
all aliens are time travelers. I'm just saying.
If it ever was that, you know, say our government is like secretly colluding with the little gray man or whatever like that, I don't ever want those talks to break down. I don't. Because if
right,
yeah, you know, keep that shit up. Give that dude the virgin sacrifice or whatever the hell.
Whatever he wants, yeah.
Because if that, I mean, the alternative is if these suckers decide they want to just, you know, imprison or enslave, you know, the populace of the earth.
Yeah, I saw Battlefield Los Angeles.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I saw all the trailers for it.
But you've never seen it? Oh,
come on.
That was a good movie. I know everybody's going to yell at me, but it was a good movie.
I read the book, and I was like, the book was very much more involved than the movie.
They always
I got to give it Travolta. He it was a labor of love. He passionately felt for it. But man, yeah, we got to keep his passions in check because that movie was craptacular.
Not Battlefield Earth.
Battlefield Los Angeles.
Battlefield Los Angeles.
Okay, now that was a better movie.
That was a big blockbuster.
That was a better movie.
I'm
not saying that because there were just freaking Marines in there dying for their country and planet, for that example. And I mean, there was a lot of my favorite dudes that got wasted. And after that, after a whole freaking day of fighting these fools, they went back out. I was like, yeah, yeah, more of this, please. I want more of this. I think that was the best thing. Especially when they was like taking these dudes out on the ground level. These guys are flying around in their super high speed freaking jets and they couldn't make a dent.
Mm.
And these dudes were using handheld bazookas and they were just blowing cats away.
I know. He's like, they have no air support. I repeat, they have no air support. We own the skies.
Yep.
And they did for a while until they came in. And then the one dude Marine's like, so much for fucking owning the skies. Yeah, so much for fucking that.
Yeah.
And that's why we got F-35s going all over the place. Every country's getting a couple, you know.
The F-35.
Yeah, the F-35.
The F-35.
That's the newest fighter model. Multi-role model, they call it, because it's supposed to be able to fill close air support, fighter, interceptor.
Yep. Yeah, multi-target engagement from miles out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. So,
yeah,
one of my favorite things. Oh, my God. We never have to worry. Like, so many people talk about this. The United States never really has to worry about a military engagement. Not against any kind of upper world power at all. Because, like, we have the ability now that we can sync up between satellites and different aircraft. If any of our tech sees something, we can hit it with a missile, either from aircraft
or destroyer,
or even ground launch.
It's common sense, but like, you know, they think of warfare in World War II. You saw your enemy. Now, like when jets engage, sometimes you don't see each other. You get blips on the radar, you get lock, and then you launch your fucking missiles at them.
Yep. Or F-22s don't even show up on radar.
No, they don't show up.
But
unless they want to. That's
engages anymore. Tactic. You don't see, or like them Tomahawk missiles. You don't see. All you hear is like, you're like, what the fuck's that? And then it's, you know, you just don't see anything anymore. It's so long range. It's
you don't even hear the breach of the sound barrier. No. Or when that sucker, you're screaming your lungs out and on fire by the time the sound boom hits.
I was doing the old World War II. What is that? The little subsonic thing they were launching at Britain that would go and it'd come in.
Was the
Oh man, no. It was a missile. It was a rocket propelled bomb, pretty much. They would launch, and it made this real weird because the engine sound, and it was off of Battlefield 6. But I mean, it's real life though. It is a real.
I remember their fighters had like.
I wish I knew what that was.
What did they?
Don't know. Not gonna front.
Yeah,
they had no clue.
They had these. They look like big loudspeakers attached to the wings, and so whenever they dived. They made this Judgment Day calling horn blaring sound.
That's a Stuka, yeah. It was. That's all it was. It was just to scare you though.
Yeah, it was dumb because you alerted the enemy that you're inbound. But hey, back then anything flying overhead was pretty much death on arrival.
Yeah. Well, so, I mean, you know how it is with psychological warfare.
Yeah,
whatever you can do to terrify the enemy, that's what you're gonna do.
Back then, it was easy to do because everything was like first encounter.
The V2, I do believe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I do believe. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong.
The non-directional that they were going to bomb from the motherland all the way to Britain.
It wasn't quiet. Like I said, before it hit, you could you'd hear from a mile away, just going. Coming in at you, you'd have time to get the fuck out of the way.
It was barely directional. But it was like the latest technology. I remember that much. God, dude, man, those guys, their scientists were on point. They knew how to figure shit out. I give them that. We won't talk about that anymore,
though. One more thing about it. I will say it is really weird how scientifically advanced they were. And I think it was in Brothers in Arms when he was like, "What the fuck are you guys thinking? You have horses. What the fuck you think you're going up against us? You have horses." There's just the difference. They just didn't catch up fully. They were so
World War II. World War One was really the major overlap of starting out with cavalry charges and guys with bayonets and everything.
That was the dying off. The World War I
aircraft and tanks by the end of it. But then World War II was a whole world stage of just who's got the best tech.
Yeah,
everybody's throwing numbers still because there were millions,
and they
involved.
had really good scientists and really good tech. I just don't know why it wasn't implemented more. But like I mean, I'm sure we had horse-drawn carriages. But you see, like, a lot of times, a lot of their soldiers are being brought in by horse-drawn carriages and stuff, and weird stuff, and bicycles. And I think that's his point he was making. He was like, what the fuck are wrong with you guys? You thought you'd go to war with us? Like, look at us, and look at you. You still use fucking horses.
Well, I mean, horses have been implementation of war. What was that one Marine horse? Reckless? Sergeant Reckless?
Yeah, Reckless.
That was Vietnam. No, it was Korea.
Look,
really?
I wish my boy was here. He is a very dedicated World War II. He's he's the one that like lambasted us the last time we started doing stupid shit like this. He really loves World War II. I could see him pounding the freaking table now. So I wish he was here. I wish he could call in.
Listen, so we are not historians, and there are plenty of other content creators out there that do a very good job of telling these stories factually and
love the time period, but we're not as scholarly.
As he would say, big sigh.
I would say, like you said, World War I, they still use cavalry, but I think after they figured out, like, man, our 1,000-unit cavalry charge going against the machine guns, it really didn't fucking work out, and they were like, we need
to. When they really figured out that like logistical supply lines for all this stuff, when they figured out how uneconomical it was to do, they
feed the horses and cared for them.
Yeah,
I think Poland, when in World War II, Poland had a couple cavalry units that charged panzers, maybe, or that German tanks. I might be wrong. On the country, but I do know in World War II there was a few countries that still used.
Well, they
cavalry.
Had no choice, though.
No.
Because we were mass producing tanks and stuff, but even then, a lot of times they're getting blown up just as fast as we can make them. Yeah. And then there's the logistics of getting them to the battlefield fronts, and then on top of that, they didn't have the maneuverability and the speed that they have now. So like those old style tanks,
they didn't move hardly. Yeah,
well, you could get into the side of them and take them out. Before they
won the tank war on the German against America because they produced fine-tuned, beautiful machines we just cookie cuttered something that worked relatively well,
Yeah.
and just
Which-
boom,
and it
boom,
didn't
boom,
at
boom.
first.
No, I think they. Oh man, I don't want to keep talking because I don't want to say wrong stuff. But I think they used to call our tanks, the soldiers, that were like baked potatoes or something like that.
I don't know what
Because
they call
when
them.
they
I know if they went up against a German tank.
Oh,
they
yeah.
needed the numbers.
They needed the
because-
numbers. Well, when they got hit, the Sherbets were really common to like just catch fire.
Well, they didn't have enough armor. So
No.
troops were out there stacking sandbags on top of the tanks. and
Anything
everything.
wood, yeah. I seen logs on them and stuff. Yeah,
On top of that, they were making them so that they could be multi-purpose. So you can just basically hot swap tops off of them to make them,
Yeah.
mobile artillery positions, mobile fighting units,
ammo resupply.
ammo resupply. Yeah, they were just tracked vehicles that you could also throw a tank. on.
And we have not gotten away from that doctrine because now we still, it's gotten a lot more automated. We no longer like load freaking those 20 millimeters or anything like that. We no longer do those hand over hand, which took hours. Now we have, these half tracks, we call them. And you can just sink these sucker up from track to track. And there's a belt that just runs those suckers straight across, and it takes minutes.
I forget which kind. I want to say Swedish. They just brought their new artillery system out, and it loads up, preloads 30 shells, so it could real quick just boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? But it's preloaded, and it's like breaking technology.
Nah, man. It's gotten so advanced now. I don't think there's. I know that the A10, the Warthog.
Yeah.
We used to have to load
The
those
burp.
suckers. We had to have to load those suckers hand over hand. Now they got a hookup machine. That sucker just
Feeds them right in.
throws thousands of rounds into that bad boy,
Which-
and it doesn't take that long.
That was made, I do believe, in the Cold War, and the idea was, the idea was that was going to be a tank buster. That
Well,
was
it is
gonna
a tank
that was
buster.
going to rip into the Russian tanks. That was going to be able to mainly engage, which engages anything at once. That's an animal.
It's like because it's just a big. It's a Gatling gun with a plane wrapped around it.
I mean, the sound is iconic too. Just you hear that from how many miles away? That's a
No,
that's a Warthog.
Yeah.
Well, nowadays it doesn't even look like the ones I looked at when I was in 1988,
When they did the
89.
Thunderbolt 2s, you mean? They
Yeah.
upgraded the Warthogs.
Yeah, they upgraded those suckers now. It don't even look like the
full
old
digital
one.
defense suite inside the cockpit.
Wow.
They got the jet turbines
Yeah.
instead of the old school
Yeah.
turbines, propeller turbines.
It looks super high speed now.
They just did the same thing with the F-15s. So the F-15s are now all upgraded. Well, I don't know, probably not all of them, but they did a batch of upgraded F-15s, which are still some of the fastest aircraft out there.
Hmm.
They're fucking quick.
Top of the line.
Yeah, and then and now they're working on upgrading the F-22s because they were originally going to do a system where it was going to be basically one pilot squads, and it was going to be three or four stealth drones that would be able to go out as a small swarm with the F-22 as the localized hub. And it was going to be able to add the maneuverability of the drone systems because they don't have to worry about things like G-force, so they can outmaneuver other aircraft, and they'd be able to carry more weapon systems, more diversified weapon systems, and they would be completely stealth because the F-22, I think the radar signature on it is about the size of a hummingbird because of the weather radar. The material that has to be made out of cannot be stealth. So, that's the only thing that gives off a radar ping. But these things would need that, so they would be completely invisible on radar.
Invisible.
And they'd be able to do something like that. That was what they were originally going to go with. For whatever reason, they decided against that, and now now they're just upgrading the F-22s to newer systems. And it's if we're not geared up for aliens, man, I don't know what we're gearing up for, but we are just gonna stay on top. That's just how that's gonna be.
I mean,
anybody that wants to get in the comments and try to refute me on that, go for it, man. Good luck.
I'm America first only, so I'm not worried about anybody else. I've actually been up close to a lot of either our allies or even one enemy. Got to see some of their air tech. Yeah, it's fugazi. We got nothing to worry about.
I mean, not even that, but like the ocean. I mean, we absolutely dominate. We are the top. We
own it.
are top. No, we don't own it, but we
No,
are top.
we
dog.
basically own it.
We are top dog when it comes to naval supremacy.
Yeah,
There's none better.
We went down south. We're just cruising out there, and people are saber rattling and getting on their true socials, and they're talking about how we can't do it, and we will resist these nuts. You're not gonna do anything.
I know what you're talking about.
You're not gonna do anything.
Listen, anybody that's seen which Transformers was that where they had the rail cannon on the destroyer?
Yeah, I think that was 3.
I think that was 3. Yeah, the
Hey,
big
don't tell
ass
me you
massive.
don't got it. Yeah.
Yeah, it had the big ass massive transformer that was like tearing apart the pyramid and everything.
Oh,
and
They shot his ass off that bad
Yeah.
boy
Mhm.
Yeah.
with a grid coordinate.
That's a real gun.
That's
That is a
gun.
real thing.
It exists.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that good though, but
I know.
We just don't have anything to fire it against.
I read
we don't
some
have
recently.
giant
We were
robots
going to do
attacking us.
railgun technology.
we still are trying
Oh,
to
yeah.
do it.
See, I heard they kind of are leaning back away from that a little bit, and why I don't know.
So,
But-
the biggest thing is cost preventativeness. When it comes to rail tech, I hit a special interest of mine.
Here we go.
So, because me and my dad used to actually build miniature models of stuff.
I mean, Mass Effect 2, you know what I mean?
Well,
as
yeah,
well,
yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
They
yeah.
got a little rifle out now that's it's a miniature railgun.
hmm
I don't know how many shots it gets off before it starts to lose power. But
Yeah, I mean, it's basically a toy. I mean,
Yeah.
it fires off like discs and it
runs through a rail assembly.
yeah, and it accelerates them. So here's the thing: you have the cost preventive measures because you have to have very precise parts because
Of
you have
course,
to maintain contact without it ever getting too narrow where it flash
Yeah.
welds to itself or losing contact if it gets too wide. So
Maintenance.
maintenance
Yeah.
and having guys out in the field, you drop one of these rifles and it's useless at that point.
Yeah.
The moment
It ain't an AK. You can't just drop that shit in the
No,
dirt and
right.
pull that back up, rack at, and be good to go.
You have to take care of it more than you take care
It
of
is
your
a
own.
fine.
and then it's powering it, right? So each shot you have to charge up a capacitor bank that gets released on firing it, and on top of that you have to have a backup system in order to start it moving. So what me and my dad were doing was we had a BB gun, a little pump action or a little pump up BB gun, and we created a 6-inch rail assembly on the end of the barrel. So one pump, fire it off, gets the BB moving. As soon as it hits and makes contact, it completes the loop, triggers the capacitors to fire off, and it accelerates the BB the rest of the way. And with the tests that we were running, we had a match in velocity of like 1 pump would equal 10 pumps would equal like 50, and then anything past that, the air tank just
Couldn't handle it.
it was at capacity. That was as best we could get. But we managed to fire off like a good 20 or 30 BBs through that thing before one of them ended up sticking and flash welded to the rail that we had made.
Yeah.
And it's done after
I was
that.
going to say, there's no. It ain't a German MG where you can just swap out the barrel quick. No, that is.
Well, if you had replacements, you could.
You
But
could,
yeah.
It's not going to be quick, though. It's not going to be like, hey,
Well, it's not like we have a machine shop.
mid battle, let's get this thing fixed up. No, it's take her to the rear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so the rail technology, very good, just cost preventative, and for what you can do with just regular ballistic firearms nowadays,
More feasible.
You're not gaining
Okay.
enough of a significant
Okay.
advantage.
Yeah, why have a rail shotgun when you can have a shotgun that shoots dragon's breath?
Jeez.
Sorry, give me the dragon's breath for 20p, please. I mean, you just go to what works and works every single time
Yeah.
you do it.
Now,
I mean, this is why everybody and their grandfather buys an AK-47. You can drop it in a lake, smear mud through the chamber. All you have to do, not even really, is just wash that baby off. Wipe
spray
off
with a hose,
wash it off. Run the rail back once. Put the clip in, and you're ready to go.
Hoorah.
You're ready to go. I mean, I may or may not have one in my stock exchange somewhere. I'm not saying I do, and I'm not saying I don't. But I'm saying if it's reliable, use that bad boy.
Mhm.
And sorry, railgun, it looks good on camera for the 2 or 3 times that you shoot it, but you don't want to be. One thing, you don't want to be humping the countryside with that big ass behemoth on your
Right.
back.
all the battery packs,
Yeah.
and everything.
You don't want to do that, sucker.
Man, you just be out in the field. Oh man, I forgot to charge my gun today.
Yeah,
Fuck.
Can you imagine getting up and ready and then like, oh shit, they're attacking. And
Battery low.
Yeah,
Tink, tink, tink.
Yeah, you aiming down range. You left the battery still in your bunk. Then you start.
You gotta plug it into your phone so the phone reverse charges.
No. You reach into your backpack like Hicks and said, "This is what I use for close encounters."
Yeah, we've got a lot of really cool technology coming out. And there is some materials out there that I've been hearing about for quite a long time. About a decade ago, I first started hearing about it. It's a carbon-based material that makes things like super durable, and that could possibly put some feasibility back into a durable, workable railgun or rail weapon technology. But for right now, though, I mean, it's scary enough.
They put it on the back burner. Yeah,
what I'm liking mostly about the new tech that's coming out nowadays. The infrared shields, the uniforms that are deflecting infrared light.
Well, we've had that for forever.
Yeah, but it's not.
I don't know how much is classified. But
no, but the uniforms aren't ubiquitous. I mean, your regular just grunt doesn't have it. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of special forces, they might have utilization of that technology because they're really wanting to be able to sneak up on people and not be lighting up the night, because we own the night as far as night vision goggles and
that's what I feel like
that.
A technology, they come out with it years, like he said, years in advance, and they're like, check out this new technology come out. It didn't come out yet. When it's in the hands of the grunts, that's when it's come out.
I mean, when I first got my hands on nods, they were the big. My boy's gonna be mad at me because I don't know if they're the Nod 3s or the Nod 1s, but they were these big ones, and they didn't even they weren't the high speed ones that used to fit on your helmet that we got nowadays. These suckers you had to wrap around your freaking head, and then they were like really clumsily over top of your helmet that you had to like secure off, like just off the top of your forehead.
Yeah,
and those suckers were really hard to walk in because your depth perception is just lost. Okay, but dude, it lit up the freaking night, and you were exposed. Anything that it was like gave off a signature, and now they got stuff where you can't see them. Even with nods on, because they got this really weird, like infrared thing on their uniforms. Mm-hmm. They don't have it. We have it.
Yeah.
So I'll have to double check at some point before I air this episode on just in case anything's specifically classified or not, or if it still is. But I mean, it's been at least a decade since I got out. The ABU uniforms that I wore in the Air Force did not show up on infrared. Like that was the standard everyday grunt wear that I had that we were issued. And so at least as far back as 2010, 2011, whenever the ABUs rolled out and the similar ACUs for the Army and everything, that shit was IR resistant. And it was cool too because in the dorms we had the night vision cameras and the security cameras. So if you were on CQ duty, you could see in the day room, and if the lights were out, you guys would go in there in their uniforms and like all huddled up and everything, and
you could see the top of their heads.
Yeah, you see the top of their heads, but you didn't see the uniforms. And the backpacks, I have a backpack upstairs right now that is made of the same material. Doesn't show up on infrared unless you starch it. Can't starch your uniform. Nope. Starch shows up immediately on infrared. But there's a couple
because it's reflective. Very uniform looks really nice and crisp, but it's going to look really bright under infrared.
That was a big issue because like a lot of guys, their whole thing was like the hats weren't supposed to be wrinkled. Your uniform shirt, they were a little less strict on it, depending on your commander, depending on your NCOs. But that was work wears, and it wasn't the pressed uniform, so that wasn't such a big deal. But the hats, what everybody would do is they would go and they got these fucking, it looked like sheet metal for like air ducts.
Yep.
And you would shape it so that because it had like
put it on the inner side of your lining.
Yeah, you would put your cap on there, your cover, and you would stretch it out and spray the shit out of it with starch, and it would hold shape. So even if you folded that bitch in your pocket and pull it back out, it come out looking crisp and clean. You put that on there, and it stood up off of your head and everything. And you could tell who was doing it and who wasn't doing it, because the guys that weren't doing it,
it just looked
rules.
Good.
It looked good whenever it was starched, but if it didn't starch, it was all crumpled up, and that top edge was just like crumpled in everywhere.
I had a stash on, he didn't like it, so what he would do every time, because you wouldn't put it in your pocket, you sit it right on top of your table because you didn't want it to be wrinkled or anything. He'd come right over there and he'd grab it. and he'd crush it and squeeze it, and like, oh yeah, here's your hat back. So yeah, because he hated that thing because it totally took the utility out of your freaking uniform.
Yeah,
he's like, you're what are you, some kind of prancing princess? You know,
what are you, a fucking parade guard?
Yeah. So he used to crush, and he was notorious. He just go down the hallways looking in offices to see if he could find someone's hat who was like that. He didn't like it. He also would take a pen, like a marker pen, to your uniform if your things was like so bright and shiny. Because like after you did it for so long, it looked like it didn't look real. It didn't look like fabric. So what he would do is like he would take a starch pen and he'd mark right across the top of your lapel. And you know, when you mark something with a marker, it's next to hell getting that marker out. So you have to get another uniform. He'd do that shit. Oh god, he was an evil son of a bitch. I love that guy. He was awesome.
Because he was only evil if you were, a shitbag.
Yeah, he'd do that shit. Fuck, now I gotta get, and them things weren't cheap. You gotta get another one,
Yeah, and guys would always try to find workarounds. They sold these things. They were like it was like a liner cap that you would put in the hat so it would tuck up there and keep the edges nice and straight. But then you had that piece of plastic digging into your head the entire time.
Yeah, it's
blousing straps versus the little bungee cords versus just tucking the shit in your boot. It's
some of the stuff that you had to do just to look crisp and clean.
I gotta wonder too, because like you did a lot of riding the desk, you did a lot of office work.
Yes,
stuff, so you probably had like your dress blues Mondays and stuff like that.
Okay, look, I had the one uniform that for all intents and purposes was just for show.
Yeah,
I only like.
Oh yeah, everybody had that one uniform.
That one uniform that I wore for show. It's like we had an inspection. That sucker had. I didn't even have to measure nothing. Nothing had to be adjusted. And as soon as I was done with the inspection, I took it off, put it in my form-fitting hanger, and put it in my dress bag, wrapped the bag up, and I went in the closet. Never touched it. And then it was my everyday uniform.
Yeah,
that sucker was threadbare, but it was functional. It was straight. It was clean. It was presentable. But I didn't give a damn about it. I didn't put no starch on it. I just ironed it every day. And it was so ironed that the lines for the creases stood starkly out. It was like, yeah, because you iron the same crease for 15 years. And sucker's like, yeah, blam, pow.
Folded piece of paper. Yeah.
My boots. But what I did love is when we changed boots. When we went from the standard leather to the cloth boots, that was a godsend. I saved so much money on freaking Kiwi. I saved so much freaking money. But before that,
now they still had the Kiwi kits for the papers because you still had to keep those clean.
Yeah, I still had to keep those clean. But I mean,
you didn't have to keep them shine.
Yeah, it was a regular thing. I mean, one of my boots. I mean, my boots were so old. It's like I can't even remember when I bought them. Because I didn't buy any new boots. I just got the soles redone.
Yeah.
Every single time I paid $30, get the soles redone. But the actual leather on my boots had so many layers of Kiwi on it that all I had to do was just wash off the first leather, apply it, and buff it. And I mean, the shine become like that. It was like instant.
Kiwi.
None of that.
It's a boot cleaning kit.
Yeah.
Kit.
Okay.
Yeah, by all means, jump in whenever, man. I feel
Yeah,
bad that you're finally back.
I wish I'd have followed my pap.
Yeah, I forgot you were on the planet.
I wish I'd have followed my pap into the Navy. I really do. You know what I mean?
Follow your heart, dude. Don't follow a regret.
I mean, when World War III kicks off, we're all going back in. So
yeah.
I mean, look. I mean, we got people for Border Patrol. I mean, it's like they're in their 60s now.
It's not even going. Like a lot of people. I met this one guy, and I was with. I think we was cutting grass. So my boss was in the military. He came up and he said something, and he was like, "You in the military? I could tell." And he was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, I killed a bunch of them towheads over there." I mean, he was a straight prick.
Yeah.
And we was like, and he walked away. And the buddy, he spit on the ground. He's like, "I fucking hate dudes like that." You know what I mean? Like it ain't about that. You know what I mean? But just the discipline, I don't know. I like a lot of the things that are in it, and I'm sure there's some things that aren't fun and cool. and whatsoever.
There's
But
plenty
like,
that's not funny.
yeah,
Cool,
I'm sorry. Yeah,
that's-
Plenty.
Jolly Green has never been in the military. The closest he's ever got, he about joined the Peace Corps.
Hey, I mean,
Yeah, that's a sort of military. But look,
Sort of ish.
when you do engagements like that, guys who have been over in that particular theater, if you're in like if you do any kind of engagement, Iraq, Iran, Syria, what's another one?
Lebanon.
Uh,
I just shot a name out.
Bosnia, Kosovo, stuff like that, where you're dealing with people who, I mean, they're not just fighting an enemy; they fight you because they just hate Americans.
Yeah.
Okay, when you come up against people like that on a regular basis, then you start coming up with names like Towelhead and Sand Ninja.
And it wasn't even called him a towelhead. It was that he was like embellishing that
he killed
somebody or killed a bunch of people.
Because you know why? Because they really enjoy killing Americans.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's okay. We do it because it's like it's a necessity, and then that necessity turns into anger because
you see a buddy die.
Yeah.
Well, not even just that, just the fact that you're being forced into that kind of situation,
and they
have to take a life.
Yeah, and it's like some of the people that you're trying to help, they're out to get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then one day, you're handing a guy a bottle of water. The next day, he's throwing fucking grenades at you out of a fucking window.
So and none of these cats wear a uniform. They hide amongst the masses,
hide behind women and kids,
and they take pox shots at you. Then everybody becomes a towelhead. You just see towelhead. For as far as the eye can see, it's like, or you see sand ninjas popping their heads up. I mean, and that's what happens to you, because then everybody becomes that.
You good?
Yeah. Can I say that?
No.
Well,
I'm not really. That's what he said.
He's allowed to say it. And he's barely allowed to say that.
He's not Japanese. He can't say ninja then. That's bullshit.
Yeah, so when Big Smoke says ninja,
I know what he's saying. I can say ninja if I want. This is America. That's bullshit.
Why does he get to say ninja?
I like jokes like that. I remember one time he's like, "Yeah, man." It was a black man joke, and
I figured
he said something. I went, "Can we laugh at that?" He looked at the only other white guy in the room. I'm like, "Can we laugh at that?"
Look, okay, I remember
just you saying that. Like, I knew what you meant by it, but
well,
that's why I laughed.
I say that because saying the other word is just too, well, one, it's too on your nose, and it's too
You talk about ninja?
Yeah.
Oh, I respect that you don't.
Because then people start getting all upset about it, or they're so opposed to it. For me, though,
you never know which side they're on. Yeah,
exactly. Now I got a buddy of mine. He's of this particular melanin.
Yeah,
and he says that like on the regular around me, and I'm like, and I said. Honestly, I said, when you say it, it's kind of weird. And he goes, what are you talking about? And I said, because I think you're trying to say it to prove something.
Or provoke.
Yeah, and I said, he goes, well, how do you know? I said, okay, let's do a little test. I said, I'm playing with your life, so in the meantime, I'm sorry for your loss if it ever happens. If you're ever dumb enough to do it. I said, go up to any 3 random black people that you don't know. Not because you know Big Smoke, but just random people at a speedy mark or whatever, and say that. And if they don't kill you or try to kill you, it's in the first 30 seconds. Then you're allowed to say it.
I never understand. I've seen like white people, and they'll be around a bunch of black people, and they'll say that, and I'm like, whoa. I remember one time I was in a group of people, and they were like, "We'll give you a pass. Go ahead." And then they were cool laughing, but then you see other ones that are like, re-up in their seats, staring at me, waiting for it, and I'm like, and regardless, I wouldn't have said even around them. I'm like, no. They're like, dude, we're giving you. No one's gonna come in. No one. Everybody sit the fuck down. No one's coming in. I'm like, no.
There was a white kid in my neighborhood. The only white kid in my neighborhood. If you close your eyes and listen to him talk, you swear he was black. You swear he was black. And so he said the N-word all the time because he was black. He wasn't a white kid. He was black. He was black. Oh, he was black to his had a black girlfriend, later had a black wife, had a whole bunch of mixed babies.
So when I see it, it's a poverty thing, right? It's a class thing.
No, Because you got a lot of rich people who are saying, I mean,
well, rich people are
rich. You got rich black people who promote it
because they get
they get pseudo street cred for
that.
saying
Yes.
So I mean,
like I said, it really does. I think comes down to poverty level, class. I mean, because you've got ghetto white people, ghetto black people, right? Whenever just narrowing it down to black versus white. We've discussed this before. The episode never saw the light of day, but I've got it saved in case it ever does come up. But the idea is that there is this very clear dichotomy between people that are trying to act street, trying to act hood, ghetto, whatever. People that are actually street, hood, ghetto, and then the people that don't want it to associate with that at all. Right, so like for me as a guy that grew up poor, but my parents were very anti us being ghetto or street or acting poor. We weren't allowed to appear poor, and
I would get my butt beat. Right,
I told
if I ever spoke Ebonics in my family, I would get spanked either with a ruler or with a belt. Not even the nice belts. I'm talking the belts with the studs on them.
Yeah. Well, your parents worked their asses off to get out of that kind of stuff.
So, I was not allowed.
I don't think I'd get beat or anything. I'd get, yelled at. But I remember I've only said the N-word once, and I was a little kid, and I heard it in a rap song, and I came home, my grandma. I told you this, Big Smoke. And I was like, hey, Graham, ninja. I have never seen, and she's the most politest, kindest woman I've ever met. I've never seen her lose her shit. And I was like, well, my aunt let me listen to it. And then it was on her. I'm like, it was bad. It was bad. But she is absolutely, and her mother was, my great grandma, I love her. She doesn't mean to. This is how she was growing up. If she would see a black person, she would get scared. Like if it'd pop out of nowhere on her, she would scream. She was genuinely scared. My grandma was raised by her, and that's why people were like, well, my daddy was raised like ass, so goddamn it, no, don't give me that bullshit, because my grandma was raised that way, did not subscribe to that, you know what I mean? She's absolutely...
When it comes down to stuff like that, that's just a respect level thing.
Yeah.
Yes. It's...
Look, funniest story, I tell it way too often when I was doing, when I was a nurse, and I was giving this one lady, she was in her hundreds. She was 103, and I had to give her a sponge bath. She was not mobile.
I remember the story.
And she was,
excuse me.
And she was like real nervous. What's the matter? She said, I've never been naked in front of an engine. And I was like, oh. I said, okay, I'll take care of you. We won't go past your comfort zone. And so, removed her bound, got my soap and pads up, and rubbed her down, washed her down and stuff. And the whole time she's turning. But I was respecting her, washing her and stuff. But then, like, at the end of it, after I patted her down dry and everything, I bent down to her and I said, so, how was it?
What the fuck?
And she's like, she's smiling, she goes, I didn't mind it.
That's funny.
Yeah, signing the times, man. She was an old lady back then,
But it's all generational thing.
Yeah.
What people get exposed to,
Yes.
What gets me is that she never had a black nurse before me.
Right.
Like she was she needed assistant care for at least 20 years or something at that point. Like 20 years, you've never had a black guy or a black woman come wash you down. What the hell?
I thought he was going to say someone's come rub you down.
No, she was like,
you always want to turn it dirty.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. Yeah, you do.
No, I didn't like how God said that. Yeah,
you like that, don't you?
Stop, I'm blushing, Chief. Stop.
Admit your pain. Admit your weakness. Oh, yeah, go. Turn left. We can't go down that road. Oh, hell no.
We'll say that for the Valentine's Day.
Stay tuned, folks.
But this is, like I said, it comes down to a respect thing, generational thing, what level you're exposed to and whatnot. We talked before about, me and Big Smoke had a conversation about it. Whenever I was growing up, I grew up in, a fairly upper middle class, very predominantly white area. And then when I moved out here to Ohio, it was my mom gave me a warning. Her warning was, you're gonna notice some more black kids in your school. Not to be on the lookout for it. Like it literally just observing, right? And and I joke about it now because it's like, yes, I went from, if I remember correctly, it was like I knew 3 black kids in my entire school to 3 in my class. 3 of the coolest guys I had ever met, mind you. But the more that she should have warned me about was I was going to see some more redneck kids in my class. I was going to meet a lot more, jocks and fucking a lot more ghetto type, both black and white, and a couple of Mexican, but like it was just a matter of like
scale.
not scale. It's a matter of the warning shouldn't have been about the specific race. It was the culture. The culture was going to be different. And for my mom, she grew up backwoods West Virginia, So I mean, that was very similarly for you, Jolly. It's that environment. What you get exposed to, what cultures you see, what races you see. It's for me. I didn't have. Granted, I didn't pay attention to a lot of people, regardless, because antisocial, introverted. Yeah. And then find out later autistic. So it's like, people were background noise to me for the longest time.
I noticed it right away when.
Yeah, you moved around a lot.
Yeah, see, moving around as a family is a lot, but being in California, I was around a lot of blacks, whites, Mexicans, Filipinos. It was a good mix, and it was everybody was everybody. Mm-hmm. And like you said, you see the upper crust versus the ghetto, really like suave black kid, suave white kid, to like this black kid will kill you in a dark alley, and this white kid, his mom and dad might have been brother and sister. That kind of thing. It was a good mix.
A real melting pot.
Was there a lot of white kids that try to act black?
No.
Here there's a lot.
Not there. But
here
when I visit my cousins in Memphis,
mm-hmm.
There were some white kids that I was like, wow, that's a white kid? Because he was stunned. He was like, he could have been black if you didn't like, you weren't closely paying attention. And then there were some very country ass whites that had no desire and let you know that you didn't matter and my father owned your father kind of BS.
Jesus.
And then
it's around.
And then you had some really country ass black chicks and black guys. It's like, it seems like nobody had shoes. Everybody was running around barefoot. It's like, there was white kids like that too, but it's like, I felt like out of place. I'm like, I'm not walking around. My feet will get dirty. My shoes will get dirty. I'm like, what the hell?
Feet will get dusty.
Yeah. But I ain't gonna lie. I like 12 or 13. I swear to God, country girls are so much
fun
more
okay.
than California girls. They're more. I'm sorry. They might be low tier or ghetto, whatever you want to call them. There's just something about a country girl that just. I was like, wow. And I really regret it every time leaving. I did. I did not want to go. I wanted to be here with these country ass girls. I did. Dude, I'm sitting there going, Tennessee was one way, and then Alabama was another one.
Really?
Yeah. The culture is so much, just way 100 degrees different than what it is.
It don't perturb me that if you were raised that way and that's just how, like, you kind of just, it's like living in a country or living in a place like Alabama, you get a bit of that accent on you. And it's not like you're trying to, well, some people do try to. What got me around here is people that try to act, and I sadly, I ran in this friend group, they try to act black for the point of just acting black. They weren't raised that way. There was nothing. If you would talk to them or catch them at an off point, they would talk just like me.
Yeah.
But to look cool around people, they would do. And I hated that. I really did. One dude had his hands down his pants constantly. I don't know if he's playing with it or what the fuck he was doing. I really don't. There was a lot around here of white kids just trying to act black just for the fun of it, to be cool, to get notoriety. I don't like that. It was strange to me. That's the only thing, like, you know what I mean? And I didn't have many friends in school, but I never cared about anyone. Well, he talks a little ghetto, you know what I mean? That's cool, that's just how he is. But then it was people that, I go home with you, dude. You don't talk like that around your mother.
Well, yeah. See, like, I remember I got really involved with a couple of white kids from my high school. And this is when sagging just started coming out.
Oh, my God.
This segment was coming out. He was starting to do that because he was hanging out. I mean, he'd hang out with us. He deliberately put himself in our orbit just so he could,
Yes.
get immersed in the culture. And he started wearing his pants down. Like, hey, dude, what are you doing? Ah, man, I'm just trying to, it looks cool, right? Like, you don't do that. Well, he didn't listen. He just kept sagging his pants. Then one time he invited me over to his house. So we took the bus. We get to his house, and he forgot to pull his pants up.
Oh, no.
He walked right past his mother. His mother immediately checked him. What the hell are you doing? What? Wait, are you going to the bathroom right here in the kitchen? Pull your pants up. I'm like, and I start cracking up, man. Does he? And then she put me on spot. Does he do this at school? Does he wear his? I'm gonna put pink underwear on you from now on. So when you want to show your ass to everybody,
Talks gangster in school, get him home.
Oh my god!
He's like, Mom's like, do you do your homework? Yes, Mama. Yes, Mama. You know what I mean? No, where was that? Yeah.
Yeah. He was trying his best to be gangster, but when he got home, it was yes sirs and no ma'ams. And then, so then like the next day we're back in school. I'm all checking his pants. He go, what you looking at? I'm like, see if you got pink underwear. You got pink underwear out here. And everybody's like, what pink underwear? What is it about pink? And he goes, hey, shut up. Don't talk about it.
Shut up.
Hey, Kevin, I hope you're out there, brother. I mean, I love you, man. Pink underwear.
Yeah, no, like I said, I moved out here and it was just much more immersive into the more redneck, redneck bordering on ghetto because we've got the dichotomy here in town where you've got kind of the more southern redneck area. The more west you go, and then the more east you go, you're getting into the city and the downtown area and everything. And so, like, I rode that fine line between the two, where I was at going to the school that I went to, and my best friend JB, kid I've known since I first moved out here, 7th grade. He's basically my older brother now at this point, and he basically adopted me, because like how it is with extroverts and introverts. He was very much the extrovert, and he adopted the introvert with me, and so I started hanging out with him all the time. It's basically we did everything together all the fucking time. And he was one who got me into going out to like the sportsman's club with him and his dad. We were doing the 4-wheeler riding and the mudding and everything, going out and swimming in the lakes and everything, all the bonfires and fishing trips and everything else. And really got me even more into the outdoorsy stuff. And my dad loved that because he always wanted us to be more outdoorsy like he was. But we grew up in apartments and suburbs the entire time, and never really had the time to get out there and do things. So I finally started going out there and having fun and doing shit. Of course they didn't care. So that was a lot more of what I ran into here. And as far as the ghetto side of things, by the time I really got exposed to that, I was, as at an early point, just didn't care about people, so it didn't really leave much of a mark. But then left for the Air Force, became very much not introverted. You kind of have to be at that point. I mean, there are some people, the introvertedness survives basic training, but when you got to share a space with 50 other guys, basically a 2-bedroom place, you learn to fucking... You
got to adapt to that eventually.
And it's always people from all over the place, so you learn so many different cultures, so many different areas, so many different types of people very quickly, and then you get molded into that military mold, and then so you get form fitted to that a little bit, and then you get back out the other side of basic training, and then you get into the real stuff. And like I worked maintenance, right? So I was doing body work on F-16s when it happened. My first duty station was a training base, so I didn't really get to do much repair. It was mostly just replacing and paint to match. And when I wasn't doing that, I was painting shelves and shit like that. I was low guy in the shop, and big physically big shop, but small crew. But it was like a regular 9 to 5 for the most part, day in, day out, Monday through Friday, go in, do the job. I mean, I ended up on the fucking night crew on that one a lot of times. That was 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., Monday through Friday. So it was a little bit different. Plus, it was in Alaska. So, like, summertime, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Still twilight. Right?
Yeah.
No, it just looks like noon the entire time.
Really?
Like, I go into the shop, it looks like it's noon out. I come out at 6 in the morning. It still looks like it's fucking noon out. It's wild.
I mean, I've seen movies of with that, but to experience that day to day, I don't know. I don't know. I heard about that. What do you call it? Some kind of sickness where you.
There's a high number of suicides in Alaska because not the days, but like when there's like perpetual nights, it fucks with your psyche.
Yeah,
And there's a little bit more higher suicide rate in Alaska.
Yeah, so you lose a lot of like there's a lot of mental health issues whenever you're missing out vitamin D and just sunlight in general.
Yes.
So they have these things called happy lamps.
Yep.
And they're little UV lamps that you
really?
post up in the corner of your room.
They got them in Massachusetts too.
Yeah, they have them. The base that I was at up there, they had them like posted in like on every street corner and every like they were like lawn decorations and stuff like that on base as just these like little lights that just kind of created this artificial
give you a little
glow.
bit of UV.
Yeah, but in the summertime, it's the complete opposite. It's just daylight all the time, and it fucks with your sleep schedule, your sleep cycles. I know I had some lasting effects. But like I said, it was wild too because in the summertime, the closest it got to dark was around 2:30 in the morning ish, like 2:30 in the morning, and the sun would just barely dip below the mountain lines, but you could still see like the corona, and the sky never got darker than like a mid blue, right? And then starts immediately coming right back up. But then in the wintertime, the most sunlight you got, because we were still south of the Arctic Circle, so it wasn't like full darkness the entire time. But the sun would poke up for about a half hour around 1:30 in the afternoon. And so I always tried to make sure that I got like a smoke break right around that time, get a little bit of daylight.
Get a little bit of it.
But it was, the sun would just pop up over the mountains for a little bit, say hi, and then drop right back down. And then it was just dark the rest of the time. It was cold and miserable, but absolutely beautiful though, I will say.
Good Lord.
I mean, where I was at specifically, a lot of times it was actually too cold to snow. So we didn't get as much snow. Like, I want to say we got like on average usually like 6 feet of snow. But like further south you go, it's more humid and it warms up more. Yeah. So like, that's the thing is that it was too cold. It was, I mean, the average that I was seeing was like -35, -40, like on a normal day-to-day basis, and like -70 with wind chill. And so the humidity levels would always stay so low that the water never evaporated to get back up in the air to come back down to snow.
No wonder it's called a freaking punishment posting.
I'm sure the guys, when they saw it on my dream sheet, man, they're like, "Oh, this guy wants to go here? Yeah, fucking send him." Got it the first try.
They used to punish people.
Got him the first try.
They send those people out there. This is where it kills your soul. They send you out here.
Off topic, but back to the I don't want to say races, but back to race. What we was talking about.
Yeah,
I do notice on
tangent topic.
Yeah. I will notice on my aspect. I tend to talk to black people different. Now, you wouldn't notice because I know you enough now. I'm just normal with you.
Yeah.
You're just big smoke.
I feel like that's my condition more than anything. I want everyone to like me. If I have to jump through hoops for that to happen, I will. Now, I don't talk gangster, but
well, there is kind of like this.
And I say brother in general, but like I'm like, hey, what's going on, brother? But if I talk to a black person, I drop my voice just a little bit. How's it going? How's it going, brother? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I could definitely tell.
So there's a psychological survival aspect of like just wanting to fit into the people that are around you. Wanting to fit into the people that are around you. So like there is that you kind of
you not read the room.
Yeah, you kind of imitate. Yeah.
That is a psychological thing. If you live with someone long enough, you do pick up their traits. And when I was upstate, I did notice. Like I said, I didn't have a problem with anyone. You know what I mean? I could go back and forth, and no one really cared. You know what I mean? It was I wasn't have to be on this side or that side. It was you're just welcome. You know what I mean? And I like to feel. I don't know. I don't know why I do that. I like to think it's just because of you said, a natural.
Oh, I mean, you are a good person, and so whenever you get presented as or get put into a position where you could appear to be not a good person. Mm-hmm. Your natural defensiveness kind of kicks in to, kind of stand up for yourself. And that it's not necessarily a bad thing.
No.
But if you're not acting genuine to who you are, which you can be genuinely.
Well, I am genuine. Just like I said, it does. Yes.
Because what was it? The Japanese culture, they talk about having different masks, right? You have a mask around strangers, mask around close acquaintances and family, and then you have the who you are, your own personal mask, and then even then, who you are without a mask, and like that's for a lot of people, most people don't know who they are under all the masks, and there are people who are so uncomfortable with who they are, not around other people or not around others, and they don't know you get so entranced into becoming who you are to these other people that you forget who you are yourself.
Just traveling in Japan is different, because if you were on a train in Japan,
you and your fucking trains in Japan, man.
That's where everything happens, is on those trains. Well, if you went to, in the outskirts, but now things are starting to close in because the population is going under a shift. But if you're on a train, you don't see the real person sitting next to you or around you, because everybody's quiet. They go out of their way not to intrude on your space, and they expect you to not to intrude on their space. So everyone is either on their phones or they're sitting quietly, or most of them they're just freaking sleep because they've been working all day, every day. Okay, you don't get that here. You go on a train here, everyone's loudly talking on their phone. People are yelling across the aisle to their buddy who should be sitting next to them, and they're loud.
So everybody thinks they're the main character.
And everybody wants everyone to notice me. Look at me. Hear me.
I'm important. I mean something.
And you're projecting your personality out on everybody, no matter how bad or good it is.
Yeah.
Okay? That's not them. That is also their mask, because they're probably not like that at home. So when you're at home, maybe you're a little sorry. Hell, I would hate to see if anybody is that loud and that intrusive on people else if they're in their apartment and they're like,
right. I've seen some people that are like that. It's like, dude, do you ever just shut the fuck up?
Yeah, okay.
I can just picture them just laying in bed, just having a full-blown argument with themselves.
In dreams, yeah. No, you shut the fuck up. And then, the person that, you're like, I think the most honest person you'll see is probably when you, after you take a shower and you look in the mirror. That's probably your most honest. Because that person looking at you and going, okay, what do I see? Maybe, I don't know, but maybe not, because there's a lot of people who lie to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So they probably wouldn't have a problem lying to the rest of the world. So maybe that's a wonderful idea. What do you see when you look in the mirror? Because for me, I look in the mirror, I'm like, okay, what trouble am I going to cause today at work, Big Smoke? What are you going to do? What version of the bear are you going to poke today? Honestly, I don't know. I don't think I have a one size fit all, but I think everybody who knows me or hangs around with me, they know this is what you get.
Yeah.
They don't. There's no, okay, what does Big Smoke think about this? Well, Big Smoke thinks about money. Your money. Hey, can you help me with this? $2. Wait, what? You're gonna charge? You're damn right. I'm gonna charge you. Time is money.
It's practicing for his future mercenary warlord days.
Exactly. When you help Miss Thing take her topper off, what was the first thing I asked you?
Did you get her to give you $1?
Yeah. Did you charge her? And you would know, like, you fool. She's got you simping. She's really good at getting you to simp for her. And she put it on the baby face, and then I put the baby face on. You got $2? It's gonna cost you $2 to get me to do anything for you. Get a step ladder, get your little butt up there and pull that thing off. I'm not doing it for you for free.
For free.
When our young scholar, soon to be in charge, whatever, he was like, "Hey, can you give me a ride home?" And I was like, "No, can't give you a ride home." And he goes, "Shit, what can I do?" And then he comes up to me, Chief comes up and goes, "Hey, here's a couple of dollars. Can you give him home? You're speaking my language. Give me the money."
Most of it's fair to me is I just wanted him the fuck out of there.
Yeah, he wanted him out of there.
So I'm tired of seeing him just sit there looking more mopey than I feel.
Get him out of here.
Well, that was the other day I was talking about the boss. And I was like, when's he going to go home? When's he leaving?
He's not usually here this late.
Yeah, little boss. I
was like, why is the
I really don't like it when he's hanging around for no other reason. He's just kind of wandering. He does that sometimes. I'm like, dude, I know you love your wife. Why are you here?
So there's this thing because I've noticed that I've started picking up on it when he does it, and I notice that whenever I'm doing it, you kind of have to absorb and observe to know if you, because he's waiting to see if he can feel comfortable enough
to go.
If everything's going to run smooth when he leaves, or if he's going to end up getting a phone call in an hour. Hey, this is going wrong, and this is on fire, and this person just got in a wreck, and this person just went home. And
when young Scholar's in charge, he's probably.
Well, last time he was there, like I said, he just kept saying weird stuff, like "Go clean the rafters," and I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like, it was just weird stuff he was telling me that normally you would wait till.
It's more of a. So there's these times where we do hit those slow patches, but it's going to get busy later, right?
Yeah.
So like, say it's 9:00 on a Thursday, it's completely dead, and then but that 10, 11 o'clock it's going to pick up. So now you got to justify not sending people home because of the labor and
scrub that deck.
Yeah, so now you're doing cleaning, you're finding side projects and stuff because you're going to be here, you're going to get paid, but we're not going to pay you to just stand there on your phone.
Why not?
Because you're not in management yet.
Oh shit.
That's such an awesome question. Why? I'm here. Can't we understand that I don't want to be here also? Come on. Believe me, I used to guard a few of my soldiers who were like, it was like, where they were like, we have to find a crew to go mow the lawns, and we got to have a crew that scrub these big giant bullets, and we got sitting at the freaking front of the door. These bullets that don't have any other purpose other than they have to be shiny. So we need soldiers to sit here and shine and buff these bullets. Mm-hmm. And I used to hide my soldiers. And look, my soldiers weren't, after we got done with our work, we were watching movies in the barracks, or we were playing video games and having little, like, Mortal Kombat tournaments and stuff. We weren't doing anything. And so, my chief would always come to me and goes, hey, you got anybody available to do negative on that, Big Sarge? We're really tapped out. All right, roger that. He walks off. These cats were screwing off. They were playing video games in the barracks. But, it was slow. Radios didn't need to be repaired. For whatever reason, network, components, we were all stocked up. Our Singar radios, all of them. We had like 50-something Singar radios. These are special, like, encrypted radios that the special forces use. And these things were rugged. Somehow these special forces dude, they managed to break these suckers, man. These guys, they made these suckers rugged, and these dudes managed to break them. And so we
just out there with rocks.
Yeah, they're like, oh crap, I dropped it. Oh, watch out below. And so they were always broken or messed up or something, or some of the software or the hardware gets broken up, and we have to fix them. There are times all of them are working. It's like that rarely happens, but there comes times where my 6-man crew has nothing to do.
Yeah.
If that ever happens, let's start sweeping. Let's start. Let's put all of our freaking book manuals. Let's put them all on the shelves and alphabetical order. Put them in alphabetical order, like
by author and date.
Yeah. And I know I said, like, why not? But, like, I do get that. It was the one day he was there a little bit later. He wasn't late, but it was something that was fucked up. I got blamed. Now, 2 occurrences, possibly. 3 occurrences. There's no way in fucking hell that person got 3 fucking orders and I fucked that up. I still was blamed, and I left. And when I went out the door for the 3rd time, or he came out and he was all pissy or everything else, I was like, just go the fuck home. Go to your home. Go, please. You're just fucking everything up. And that's very rare. That's only the first time that he usually does it really. I love it.
I love Little Boss.
I do. I really do too. We've had our, but he's a good. Out of all the bosses I've had, and I've had some fucking shitbirds, he is one of the best. I will say that.
I like him because he made.
You guys know he doesn't listen to this, right?
Huh?
I said, you guys know he doesn't listen to this. Right?
Yeah, I know he does.
Just in case. I need my job, so just in case.
I told him straight up. After like the first couple of weeks when he was actually just sitting around watching us when he first got there. And then he started to blow up. I love that. That shit was so funny. Because, like, you'll probably never catch me just sitting around in the shop. Never.
No.
So, but we have other young scholars in our midst who go into the back, and that's all they do is sit around, or they get on their phone or whatever, and they consider the back of the shop as a hiding spot. The first couple of weeks when he first started really taking charge, he came here. What the fuck are you doing back here? Why do I got 5 drivers back here not doing it? I mean, barking in his little, loud Indian voice. It cracked me up. Because I was already doing something. I was washing dishes. And then you see all these other drivers just scattering like cockroaches when the light turned on.
I like to say I do equal amounts.
And that was so funny. Yeah. And he's like, why are you laughing? I'm like, look, I used to be that guy who can walk into the room. What the fuck is going on here? Why are your feet up on top of this desk? That means you're comfortable. Let's make you uncomfortable.
Let's make you uncomfortable.
I used to say really stupid stuff. I used to love doing that. Have my hat all tipped down on into my brow.
No,
what the fuck?
I'm 50-50. You catch me sometimes back here just chilling on the table, but then other times I'm doing shit. I'm a big one on the dishes. I never leave them motherfuckers.
Well, see, but he was trying to flex. I mean, he was flexing.
He was coming in strong in a new leadership position.
Yeah, this is like, hey, I'm in charge here, and you better listen to me. I don't care if all 5'4" of me. I'm telling you,
5'4".
He's taller than that, but
Jesus.
But he did have that little Napoleon thing going on, and I love that about him. And I told him as much. I'm like, hey, keep that shit up. Don't turn that knob down to 3. Keep it up at 7. Keep it going.
Yeah, keep these motherfuckers on their toes.
Yeah, keep them running around.
Because when I'm running shifts and everything, I'm trying to keep everybody working, keep everybody moving. But as long as the work's getting done, if I can't see you, you're probably safe. If I can see you and you're just fucking standing around, and especially if I'm working my ass, if I'm sweating and you're standing still, you're about to find out. You've seen it a couple of times this past week alone.
And then they come to me and ask me, what's wrong with him? Well, where were you when this blow up happened? Well, I was just sitting on the table behind him while he was on the up. That's kind of why.
I didn't get to see that.
That's kind of.
I snapped at you a couple of times.
Have you? See, I don't realize when.
It's various times. If you ever catch yourself standing still, and I'm basically knife handing with the pizza peel at you.
It was some funny stuff. It was like.
I try to go a little easier on you because you're sensitive.
Our newest student is our little blonde high schooler. Remember when he was standing? When he was standing next to our other young protege who does really well when she's not losing her mind. She's working. He's sitting. He's leaning on the table, casually drinking out of his water bottle. And Chief was like,
I think we talked about this, but
before. But that's one of those moments where he was just. I mean, there's orders up on the. I mean, to my untrained eye, I'm looking. I'm like, crap needs to be done. Why?
Yeah, I had one of the managers on the line working and starting the orders and everything. There's an order, 3 items on the screen, but there's stuff on the screen. He's sitting there leaning back against the table, drinking from the water bottle. The driver's trying to get past him to get money dropped in the safe. Can't quite get around because of the way he's standing and everything. So she's working. He's just fucking standing there. There's food on the screen, and the manager's on the line getting stuff ready. He's supposed to be fucking moving and getting everything moving. So I had to fucking say something like, "Hey, why the fuck is she working and you're not?" Because this is one of our drivers that is notorious for standing around and waiting for their delivery to come up.
Yeah.
So if I got to point out why the fuck is she working and you're not, nah, fix yourself.
Yeah. That spiel came out. He did the knife hand with the spiel. I had such a giggle moment. I had to leave the area.
I do hate that. It seems like they stack up at that cut table, and as soon as one leaves for the delivery, the other one takes their place. And there's
somebody's got to keep that table from
past
falling
off. You can't get past them.
We never know when gravity's just going to reverse and that table's going to go flying up off the floor. So we got to keep somebody there leaning on it.
There is a few times that you've said what the hell are you doing?
My favorite line is that table's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, they're like, he's like, what the hell are you doing? And I'm like, sitting or standing, and you're like, "There's orders," and I'm like, "Oh yeah," and it's not because I'm being lazy; it's because legit I'm just stupid, and you got sometimes you got to somebody got to shake me and be like,
You're
"Where
not
you at?"
stupid. You're. It's like you have consistent squirrel moments. Just squirrel.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You're very easily
Consistent-
distracted.
Consistent squirrel moments.
Yes,
Yeah, so
that's,
I like it.
that's a good description of what you do.
Yeah,
That's
so
really good.
so I've gotten good at like kind of corralling you a bit. You know what I mean? Like put the blinders
Pulling
on.
the reins back.
You know,
Hey, yeah.
Okay, our former, associate who was always depressed for some reason, he left us.
Oh, Chief. I know who it is. Come on. That's making you look bad.
Remember, he was always complaining at work. He was always on the ovens, always complaining about work. And he always got pissed when people were just standing around behind him. No clue.
Oh,
Okay,
fucking,
God, wow, dude, that took a lot.
oh, you're like mouthing it at me. I'm like, oh, fuck. All right, yeah. Like, look, we go through a lot of people. You didn't say my friend from outside of.
Anywho, when he was working, he absolutely hated when people were sitting behind him.
Oh yeah, no, it's kind of worn off on me a little bit. I'm starting to understand.
And I remember
Why the fuck is things coming out of order?
Yeah.
Why are you standing that close behind me? I can't fucking move. Like,
My-
I get it now, man. I've always gotten it before. Like, I understood, but like, I'm starting to. I used to be very, very good at never letting it get to me.
It gets to you now.
Yeah,
though.
my steam gauge fills up too quick
My
now.
big thing is, you'll catch me sitting every once in a while, but my big thing is there's always dishes. There's always boxes. Always. I don't give a fuck what time you're there, what you're doing. There's always boxes to be broke down. If they're in the trash, there's always dishes.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you go in there and not a fucking single dish is done. And I know that day, people just was butt to crotch up there at the cut table doing nothing. And I'm that's why I said I try to keep busy on that one because it makes me look busy. It needs done too. Don't get me wrong. But it needs done. There's not been a rare time that I've, even when I go delivery, come back, there's more stuff. Or I'll search it out. I'll come up there and grab the pans. Hey, the dough table where they're putting the cornflake. Is there anything up here I can grab? No? All right, cool. There's always stuff for you to be doing. And that is, if everyone would just do 3-4 dishes. And then you come back and do 3 or 4 dishes. It would run so...
We definitely have our A, B, and
F.
L teams.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and I say L for loser. I mean, when I see and I check who's on crew tonight.
Yes.
And I look, I'm like, oh God. Okay.
I look at the other times and go, who was working before me?
No, I don't do that anymore.
Oh my God.
do
I'm
that
going into a
because-
shit show.
Because now we got.
Well, no, everybody just works before you.
Yeah,
you're last out.
No,
So.
I mean, but I don't check who's on shift, getting off shift when I come in. Because we've had a little bit of controversy between our associates now.
Yeah, lately they're all terrible.
Yeah, and it's like, Smoke, shouldn't you have a problem with this? And I'm like, oh no, don't bring Big Smoke into this. Big Smoke comes in, he does his job. Regardless, this thing doesn't stop until I'm actually finished. So I don't care. Now, when I walk in the back and there's like 2 stacks of pans, okay, this shouldn't be 2 stacks.
Right.
I don't care how busy it is. This shouldn't be. I mean, you should at least touched one freaking.
I understand it's busy sometimes, and that's cool.
Yeah.
But then I go back, like I said, that whole table is
It's
stacked
full.
up
Yeah.
half my size, full. And I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah,
And I'll bust my ass on there trying to get them done. Because I know, except like last night, 11. I was leaving.
it was nothing on that table.
No.
But I'm saying, when you left,
Yeah.
There was nothing on
there
that
was
table.
nothing on
No.
that
Everything
table.
was caught up.
At
Everything. I was like,
I knew I was leaving at 11 o'clock. So I normal people would be like, I leave at 11.
I'm out.
Fuck him. I'm out.
Yeah.
There's shit there, and I know I'm leaving at 11, and it's real stacked up. I don't know. Hey, I got like an hour and a half. I'm going to bust these out real quick so he doesn't have to deal with that tonight when the real shit comes back to get washed.
Well, so now, thank God, now we're finally going back to how it used to run like a year ago, 6 months ago, is that you have specified tasks that you got to get done before you're done for your shift. So what we're supposed to do from management side of things is, once you guys get close to that point, like last half hour, last 40 minutes, whatever, pull you off the road, get this shit done. Then that way, whenever your time hits, we can get you cashed out, go home.
Well, I like that.
And that's
how it used to be.
Yeah, and it ran smooth for forever. But then it hit a point where we were just so low staffed that we couldn't. You were running. Running deliveries until
you left.
Yeah,
circumstances happen every time. It's a revolving situation. I understand that, and then that's okay. But
yeah. But now we're getting back to properly staffed numbers with drivers again. For now, it's a
we're gonna lose.
Listen, man. Like I've been doing this shit for so long that for me, the average has smoothed out.
Yeah.
For me, I'm just always accustomed to some variation of staffed or not staffed, understaffed, overstaffed. It makes no difference to me anymore. The job's the job's the job.
What the fuck? It's a stock market. It goes up, down, up, down.
Yeah, like I said, but a big enough timeline that just smooths out to a flat line.
Yeah.
So for me, that's where I'm at. 12 years of this shit, and I'm just there are no surprises anymore.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes.
Like one of our associates, she asked me, she was like, "Hey, I hear this like you guys rate how long people are gonna last." I'm like, "Who told you that?" She goes, "Well, I heard things." I'm like, "Okay." I said, "So what you're really asking me is did I put a time limit on you?" And she was like, "Well, yeah." And I'm like, "Look, you've already left before. You've already left before. So, and the same reasons that applied then are applying now."
Mm-hmm.
So I said, "So how long do you think you got?" She said, "Well, I don't need a job." I didn't ask you that. I was like, "You've already seen the end of the tunnel, though, right?" She said, "Well, yeah." I said, "Okay, then well, there you go.
Right.
We're seeing the end of the tunnel too."
Yeah.
I'm interested. What was the time put on me?
No time was put on
we
you.
told you specifically before. We didn't put a time on you
No time
because
was put on you.
That's
for one, you came in with a bit of a necessity on your side of things of like, I need this job.
You need it.
I got
after
responsibilities.
getting into it, though, I feel very comfortable.
No, I'm thinking you needed the job.
Yeah.
So no time limit. Like,
Multiple reasons, but
you were going to sink or you were going to fail. You were going to swim or you were going to fail. That was the way it was going to go.
Yeah.
So nothing was put on you. Now our more associate put a time limit on her. 2 months. 2 months, and I think somebody let her know, and she was in her feelings about it, and she asked me about it. I'm like, hey, come on, we kind of know. Okay, there was that other.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
And the other day, I got something like that nature, like, you upset me. And I was like, what the fuck did I do? Like, I don't even do nothing. Like, what the fuck could I have done to upset you? She was like, you didn't notice I wasn't talking to you? I was like, no, I didn't notice anyone fucking talking to me. Like, no. That's like Chief saying, like, there's been a few times I yelled at you. In my head, I was like, what the fuck did you yell at me? Yeah.
Well, see, like I said,
this is my point: is that you get very absorbed in your own little world.
I do. I love it.
I love that world.
And when you get yelled at, I think it just doesn't stick sometimes because you've gone full rubber ball.
There's not. Yeah, probably. There's not. Okay, you have not done anything that actually upset me. There is one person, two people. There's 2 people in particular. The one I could be like, our young scholar.
I love that we had code names.
I know, our young scholar. There's a few things like, okay, he's been on me about talking to customers. I'm talking to him way too much.
Too long.
Now, I understand if I'm not doing the job that I'm supposed to be doing, but as I'm doing it and going like, hey, so how's your day, brother? You're doing good?
Yeah.
Hey, you're looking good today, man. You know what I mean? You're looking sharp. Who the fuck gives a fuck if I'm talking to them or not? I'm being...
Customer service.
Customer service. That's how I get my tips. People like it. Like T, he knows me now. I'm like, hold on. Is this T? And he's like, hey, what's going on, brother? I thought it was you. And I was like, hey, what's up? You know what I mean? I like that. And I want to tell him that is the only part of the job that gets me through this fucking job. I get to talk to people and hoping to God they're nice. Because then I'm like, oh man, that gave me a little bit more juice in my battery to keep on going.
Yeah.
Now, I will say that technically speaking, there is actually
a time limit
that you're supposed to stick to. It's like
limit.
No more than 90 seconds at the door, I want to say.
Yeah.
And same with phone calls. If you're taking an order over the phone,
the
goal time limit is 90 seconds.
I love it.
I understand that.
I love it when I love
you
it
take too long with customers. I'm just giving up.
Yeah, I take too long. But I'm also the one that gets the customers that nobody can understand.
There is that.
And like, I'm walking by, big smoke. I can't and this is little boss saying this shit.
Yeah, he really can't understand a lot of the people around
I can't
here.
understand what he's saying. You need to take this. Well, I don't even know what it is. Let's start from the beginning. How you doing? Holy crap. I can't understand what this fool is saying.
And like I said, I've noticed that. I've got better now where I won't just sit there idle hands and just being like, so, what are you going to do after this? You gonna go home and chill a little bit? Or like, what are you going to do? I'm actively doing stuff. And then I noticed that when he was saying that, the one person, I was like, yeah, I was taking a little bit longer. But then I've noticed where I'm still doing the work. I'm putting my fucking hands on the keyboard, doing the shit, and I'm talking. And what was the one dude? He just yelled something, and I was like, yeah, our pizza with it. He legit screamed out the window past this fucking car.
Yeah, I remember that.
And screamed like, come on! It pissed the dude off. And I'm like, what the? I'm like, that is ridiculous. And then he was all cool when I got in there. You know what I mean? He was a little upset. It just sometimes, that's the only person that really upsets me. And I have to just shut up, straight face, and walk away and do what I'm doing. And then I'll come back and I'm in a better mood. But there's been a few times where he's just upset me to the point where I'm like, I have to disengage from you and move off real quick. I have to walk away. I have to walk away. But he's been on me about that. And I'm like, I'm not even doing anything like that. Legit. I said hi. I'm a big one on, hey, is it Brittany? Yeah, it's Brittany. Hey, how's it going today? And then I don't even let him say anything. Oh, okay, what can I get for you today? You know what I mean? I just don't know. He's been on me about everything, and I understand there's sometimes when the idle hands, I understand that fully. You gotta get me on track. But I'm sitting there doing the job, legit, as he's screaming at me to like stop talking, and I'm like, I'm putting in their shit and talking to them at the same time. Like I'm
actually getting fast. Before I used to like have to. Where's that? There it is. You know. Now I'm getting to where like, what do you want? Oh, okay, boom, I'm good. But what I really don't like is when I get everything and then they start changing stuff. Oh. No, you're ruining the plan, lady. You said medium pepperoni with sausage, lightly done on the cheese. No, you can't change that. No.
That'll be it. All right, your total. In fact, no, I want this too. I'm like, already, then okay, your total's gonna be, and then add this. I'm like, we couldn't have done this 2 seconds ago.
What kills me is it'll be like they're like, let me get 2 medium pizzas with cheese. All right, cool. And I hit that medium cheese and then hit 2 times, and now it's up there. It's like, let me get one of those with pepperoni.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
you don't want a medium cheese. You want a medium pepperoni. So I got to go back in there, deselect the 2 quantity button, bring one of them up, cheese and pepperoni. All right, cool. You know, one of them cheese, and let me get the other one. You motherfucker,
just order.
Just order online.
What was the one?
Oh, I'm starting to really want the online ones, man. When they start doing stuff like that. Well, what can I get for this? Well, how much is this? Well, can I have that done?
I tell you,
can I have the banana peppers on the side? No, you can't have the bananas on the side.
Now, I will say that I've actually I've only had one instance pop up, and I've started to become more comfortable with the idea of when people call in and they're not ready with their order, they're asking about certain things and this and that, or they're trying to get a group order together. I'm like, hey,
how about you call me back later?
Yeah,
I've done that before.
Yeah, I was like, why don't you take some time, look over the menu online, give us a call back whenever you're ready to order. Because a lot of these times, these call-ins are happening with these long questions, and like, yes, I want to take care of our customers, but I'm also usually the only jobs. I'm also the only insider that's got 6 or 7 things on the screen that I gotta make.
Hate that for you guys.
Food really getting ready to fall out of the oven. No drivers in the building. It's
there should be one lineman there until
there should be.
No. We're talking about numbers here. Labor numbers.
Yeah.
They can get away with running,
labor numbers.
Just me inside because I can keep up.
Driver, I go, whoa, okay, I see it. I'm like, I don't want to be it, but I see it. I'm like, okay. I mean, for me, the practical me, okay, I just got to eat that. I mean, for me, I'll go, okay, I can eat this labor number for an hour. But that's the practical me. I've owned a business or two, so I understand labor, especially when you got people don't do their job efficiently.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want to get that person off my payroll clock now. If like, okay, I need you only for really a half an hour, and you're taking up 25 of that half an hour looking on your freaking phone instead of doing your job. you go home.
Yeah, this is why when I first started as a driver, there was a much higher expectation of what you did as a driver. So like when I first started, drivers were answering phone calls, answering windows, and were the oven tenders. At no point was an insider supposed to be on the ovens unless there was absolute necessity for it. So nowadays, where we have a manager posted up on the ovens because they're some of the few that we have around long enough to get good at keeping up on the ovens, and they're routing drivers, and they're packing the bags for drivers. I'm like, these drivers are fucking coddled anymore, man. Like, I had to do like 2 to 3 times this as a driver, let alone and now as a manager, I'm supposed to. And that's what irritates me whenever I come into my shift and I'm just working the ovens, and I got people standing waiting around like, hey, you got 2 deliveries up that should have left like 5 minutes ago. Why are you still here? Yeah. Like, oh, you didn't mark me out on anything. I don't have to fucking mark you out on anything. But the other managers,
they do that. They get they.
I think we talked about this the other day about how
too much micromanaging going on.
You have to get with, well, this manager likes me to do this and that.
Yeah.
That manager likes me to do this.
You got to play the manager, right?
Yeah, there is that.
What's their critiques? What do they like? Yeah.
What? Who's the shift manager? Oh, okay. That means I can't go anywhere near.
Which I got it down now. You know what I mean? The other one, like I said, I'll let him. He wants to run the whole thing. I'm like, go, dude. You know what I mean?
I've just never been fond of micromanaging. I gotta delegate.
I call it out. I was like, what do you want me to do here? You want me to take 1, 2? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Like last night.
But and if you don't know, ask.
Okay.
That's my.
Well, like last night. He took complete, ownership that the dishes were done. Right? Like, because I knew he had done the dishes and all that stuff. And so,
who took ownership? I'm sorry for interrupting.
Our young scholar. I was like, because when Jolly was in there and I saw him doing the dishes, and then Jolly was off. He walked out. I didn't, we didn't get to, clap hands and he could, escape. He goes, "Hey, have you noticed something?" And I'm like, "What?
Do your hair different?"
Yeah, I'm like, you still don't shave. What? hey, no, not that.
You still look scruffy.
Speak. You know what? And he goes, "Well, all the dishes were done." I'm like, "Okay." And he goes, "You're welcome." For what? For what? Well, I told him to go back there and do the dishes. And I'm like,
so you want praise for doing your fucking job?
That's exactly what I said. I said, so you're doing your job. What the? Well, before, no one was enforcing that. And I'm saying, so you want praise for doing your job that you weren't doing 2 months ago. And then he took it and he just walked away. I'm like, yeah, don't miss me.
You enforced it on the softest person that does it regardless if you telling me or not. There's like 4 people that I can be like, oh yeah, fucking enforce that. Okay. Put a boot up their fucking ass and get them in overdrive.
He didn't like the way I put that. I'm like, okay, so the way I can interpret this is that you weren't doing your job a couple of months ago, but you're doing it now.
And now you want praise.
And you want me to go, oh, thank you for finally coming back to reality and doing your job. Just kind of walked away. What are you doing?
That's like me walking in and going, get on the ground. And I get on the ground and they're like, you see that? That's power. No, it's called I'm easy going.
So he was going to do it anyway.
That big buff motherfucker over there, go tell him to do that. Go tell that dude to do that. And once he does it, then I'm going to be like, that was pretty fucking impressive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd be like getting our enthusiastic opener to do.
Oh.
To listen,
Oh man, we're okay. I think we're good. I mean, that was a good venting session. Good.
No, I haven't had my turn yet. Everybody else has had their turn to vent about. Because I got now, fuck it, I do my turn.
Alrighty, folks. Okay. All right, folks. We're out here for the night. Yeah.
That's all the time we got for you.
Yeah. Don't make me remind you who's in charge here.
Whoa! Put the knife in. He's about to go. Both he is.
Everybody else got their venting about our little scholar here. I got a vent after yesterday, man. God damn. I don't know what it is about yesterday, full moon or something, man, but fucking
beautiful blood moon.
Corn moon, actually.
Corn moon?
It was a corn moon for the November or for the September full moon. Yep.
The blood moon was a couple weeks ago.
That was a couple of months, right?
I think the blood moon specifically refers to the red tinting on
red
the lunar
tint.
eclipse. So it may have been also a blood moon. So it's a blood corn moon.
My mind does go bad places, don't it?
Yeah. The shift was weird to begin with, right? I come in and I'm ready for my short shift, but like before that, I knew that I was going to have to stay late because we had a call off, right? So I'm like, all right, I've already literally seen it laid out in the manager chat, hey, so and so can't make it, so we're going to ask Chief to stay a little bit later. I'm like, nobody asked me, but I see that they're going to ask me, so fuck it, I'm prepared for it, whatever. So my 4 to 8:30 shift becomes a 4 to 11:30 shift. It's an extra 3 hours, not a big deal. A little disappointed because I like my half shift at the end of the week, but not a big deal. But so now we're short-staffed, regardless of somebody staying late enough to cover the tail end. That other call-off was supposed to have been there through the dinner rush. We were supposed to have those extra hands. So now we're short-staffed. We're running negative labors. And then our young scholar decides it's his shift. He wants to run it his way. And because we keep running these consistent, he wants to start sending people home. I'm like, you don't want to fucking cut people when you're already short-staffed.
He's thinking about the numbers.
He tried, yes, I understand thinking about the numbers, but our numbers weren't bad. The numbers for the week were looking good, and we were running negative for the day.
But he runs numbers by the day.
We're short-staffed.
He runs numbers by the day.
On his shift, he wants it to look good on his shift.
Exactly.
But he's fucking himself, and he's fucking the rest of the crew doing that. There is no soft way to put this, man. Like, I get that he's looking out for the numbers, and he thinks he's doing a good job. He is buddy fucking everybody right now doing that.
Buddy fucking.
No, that's
the real in your face way to say it.
Yeah, military. The acronym is Blue Falcon.
Blue Falcon.
He is. If he's setting the expectation,
want those guys with you.
No, if he's setting the expectation that he's running good numbers and running good shifts, so he's an efficient manager. But really, what he's doing is cutting people, working off the clock, and screwing over other people's hours and shifts. And so whenever he tried to send me home, like I was, common fucking chaff. Like, no, motherfucker, I'm also assistant general manager here. You have no power here.
You have no power here.
This is, you're looking out for your shift, yes, but when I see that you're about to fuck the store because of it, my team because of it, I recognize that the council has made a decision, but given it's a stupid ass fucking decision, I'm not listening to it. He tried telling me, demanding that I go home twice, and I told him to fuck himself twice, and was ready to get Big Boss in charge in there to handle the situation, regardless of. I was about to start making some phone calls if I had to, but he acquiesced, we'll say. And so I stayed until I damn well pleased. Yeah. So.
He even went so far as to ask me. He's like, "Hey, Big Smoke, he goes, what do I do? Chief won't comply with what I'm saying." Fuck. I said, okay. I said, from this point of view, you both are walking on the same tier, right? You're both managers.
Yeah, we're both same pay grade.
He's like, but I'm in charge for the night. I said, so what? I said, you disagree on a particular. He didn't tell me exactly what it was, but now that you're talking I know. I'm like, look, I said, if he thinks one way and you think another, and neither of you will come eye to eye with that, you're just going to have to respect that he is also of the same line you are. It's called respect. You're saying you should have authorization over him. No, you are the same rank.
Yeah, it's either we agree.
Or we just disagree and we keep going business.
Or you got to go a step up, you're gonna
run into problems if you ever do stupid shit like that.
Well, you're running up the chain.
But like I said,
case in point, if the opposite were to happen, where if I try to tell him what to do and he doesn't listen, then I'm gonna, if I gotta get boss man on the phone, then that's what I'm gonna do. Not that I've ever had to have that happen. Yeah. And granted, I do have that expectation of like, yes, we're the same pay grade, but I've got more time in. So,
like I said, mutual respect.
Yeah.
Believe me, you got two people the same rank on the same platform, and you're both saying, okay, well, I'm going left. Well, I'm going right. What you gonna do? I mean, it's like
right. Yeah. There really wasn't much he could do. And like, I want to point out that I was right. with the call that I made, and he would have been he would have been fucked. He would have been by himself through the secondary late dinner rush that we got. And with me staying, we still continued to run negative labor that kept going down. And so like,
like I said, the night became fugazi, and like I said, I had to pick him up after 5.
Yeah,
it is crazy because Big Smoke didn't get to do anything he had to do, and I'm on a Red Bull and a Monster down, and I'm tired because of somebody else. And that's not a good thing.
Do I feel bad sometimes when you're like, give me some money for it? I do. But when stuff like that happens and he did that to you, I'm like,
now it's justified.
No, that was justified.
Mm.
Yeah.
So what it really boils down to, my biggest gripe and vent here, right, is that he's looking out for his numbers, trying to make himself look good. When it comes down to the dynamic that we have for as far as our leadership team goes, we've got our young scholar who's all about numbers, and Boss Man loves that. He wants the numbers kept in check. You've got Boss Man, also very much numbers and by the book, but he also has a realistic expectation of how things have to be run. He's been doing this for a very long time,
and he's extremely competent.
Mm-hmm. And then he's got me, who looks after big picture, the store, the team, the people. I'm not all about numbers in, numbers out. Yes, I get. You
need to be the team. Look out for your fucking people, and you can keep more people. People are gonna want to come in when you say, "Hey," that's my big thing. Hey, can you come in? I go. You kind of were a dickhead. You did do this, huh? You did do that. Like, if you would tell me to come in, please don't. But if you would tell me to come in, Chief, 99.9%, I most likely would come in because it's you. You've respected me. You're a team player, and I love that. Don't pull that card on me, please.
All right. Shush. Let him.
Yeah,
this is his venting. Let him vent.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But so I get. But I do agree with you. It's like every time I leave, like on the rare occasions where I'm not working a closing shift, I always say, if you need me, call me, but don't need me.
Yeah.
But sure, I'm not in there with the scales weighing out to the ounce. When I do my inventory count, I'm not sending people home early the moment we get a little bit of a break. But I'm keeping everything within variance, and I'm keeping people not stressed out, keeping people coming back for their shifts. Because like you said, if we're constantly getting people quitting because they're too stressed or don't want to put up with the bullshit from the upper management, then now we have to spend the extra time hiring new people, training new people, hoping they stick around long enough, And so we're losing so much if we have this constant revolving door of people quitting because of lack of respect and too high-strung management team. You don't quit a job, you quit a manager.
Yes. And I don't want to interrupt your gripe session again.
Then don't.
I got to.
Shush. He's venting. Let him vent.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. I can't touch this or that or this or that until he's done with everything. So I can't touch the cornmeal table. I can't touch the line. I can't touch the middle table. Legit. So I get the racks, put the things for
his pre-close versus my pre-closes.
Yes, it's so different. And I'm like, you are mostly let me do autonomously. I'm saying that wrong. Autonomously. He doesn't. I can't touch this or that, and it really gets me sometimes. And then sometimes he'll notice, and he'll be like I said that one day, I'll just do everything, which kind of fucked up everybody else. But that's my big thing with that. I just wish he does that. I wish you would just get what you need done. But he's over on his phone or whatever. I'm like, I need to get done. Like, can we please do what you need to do so I can get over and click it.
And I will be quick to remind that the reason he does that is because the one time the audit showed up half an hour before close.
We had closed it all up.
No. They showed up and he hadn't done that.
Oh.
Yeah, because he was doing it his way, right up to the line, everything stays out, nothing gets touched until we actually close. Whereas I do that little bit of early pre-close stuff.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to do that.
No.
By the book, you are not allowed to do that.
And they did come in at
it's like 11:30. Yeah, 12:30. Yeah, it was right at the line. And so
the one time that I've ever heard of them actually not. I don't know.
And he ended up getting a 4 out of 5 stars. So since then,
is that why we had that stupid ass 5-star or whatever crap over the top of the door in the bathroom?
Oh, that was a different in-house inspection.
Okay.
But so I cannot fault somebody for sticking things by the rules, right? Playing by the rules, doing things by the book. you're supposed to.
Yeah,
I applaud his efforts for that.
But you tell me to sweep the floor before I do anything else, and then I sweep the floor.
Now, when you clean, everything gets knocked to the floor.
And then when I clean, I get everything knocked to the fucking floor. And then he was like, "That's not really done well." And I'm like,
"You did it after."
Well, all right. So then after outside of this, we need to have a talk about what's a pre-close sweep. And there is actually a method to the madness.
Well, my big thing is like if we do it like by the book, and then they want the back closed in 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's not happening.
They told us, like, look, I'm an old man, and I'm telling you right now, even if you had someone half my age doing it, he'll break his neck probably doing it the first time, but not the second and third time.
Right.
Because he's like, this is a lot of freaking. I can't burn this candle on both ends, the middle, around the side, and up the back. Yeah. He'll remember some of our young people who were supposed to replace me, falling asleep washing dishes.
I wish we had a better hose. Instead of that little thing, we have like one of the handles.
Yeah,
we had.
We did the pressure. It wouldn't handle pressure.
Yeah, no, we don't have enough water pressure in the building to handle a sprayer.
I know, and everything goes to shit. Yeah, there's a teeny little stream coming out the sink. I'm like, oh my god.
So. Now, like I said, to round out the rants, I will give kudos and justifications where they are due. You know, he does do things his way, and I understand the need to do things your way because I'm the same way. I like things done my way. You know, I just have that realistic expectation that, you know, this is how things are supposed to be done. This is how things get done. You know, so I've got that decade of experience over him that he just doesn't have. And you don't get there until you know, he's still very new into leadership. He's still very new into management. So like that's his biggest holdup is that he's so high strung and stressed because he doesn't know that, you know, hey, if you fuck up, it's gonna be okay. It might be bad that night. You might get yelled at, but it will be okay. I promise you. And so like that's just where he's got to, you know, unbunch the panties. He's got to fucking, you know, get laid at some point. Big Smoke, breathe, man, breathe.
That Joe White motherfucker ain't gonna never get laid. He actively repulses pussy. You know what? Prostitutes will charge you more. Come on.
Well, this one's gonna get clingy.
Oh my god.
But no, as I said, I understand why he does the things that he does. I understand. He's not wrong, or he is wrong still. He's not. He's not
wrong.
No, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong, but he's in the wrong.
His people skills are in the toilet.
That's the thing. He's worrying too much. He's worrying too much about the numbers for the wrong reasons. He's worrying about the numbers to make himself look good. He's not worrying about the team. He's not worrying about the story.
Calmness under fire is my biggest critique that I would say. Just, but shit, it's a fad. I need you to do this. Get back here and give me this, please. This and that.
But no, he closes off.
I don't want to see that, or I don't want to see Jesus Christ. I don't want to see that. I don't.
No full blown explosions. For everybody, and no shutting completely down and trying to do everything.
For everybody else, they might laugh at that. For me, I get scared. I don't know why. I just get scared, and then I'm confused, and then I'm scared, and then I'm freaking out.
We're gonna have another moment here.
Oh my god.
I don't think you can say that one, but
that's one of them no-go words.
I think we're gonna have a postal moment here.
That was so fun for some reason.
Look for me. My paranoia runs very deep.
Yeah.
So when I see people lose their collective shit, I'm like, God, am I gonna have to watch this cat closer than I usually watch anybody? And not today. Maybe tomorrow. Damn, I too many people are just all of a sudden losing their stuff.
Yeah.
And I got a problem with that.
Right.
I mean, because I want to live. I'm not the throw someone in front of me so they can catch the bullet. No, I'm the one that's gonna go, damn, I'm gonna have to be a Daniel Penny and try to stay out of prison after I gut this fool like a fish because I'm gonna have to.
That's how you're built.
Yeah. I'm like, and it's too many examples of people just all of a sudden you can see the crazy coming out of them. Yeah, you can see it just oozing out little by little.
When's that dam gonna bust?
Yeah. And are they gonna quit or are they gonna snap?
Yeah,
worse, are they gonna quit and come back
and then snap?
And then snap on you right here. Hey, what's up, dude? You choop choop. Oh.
Like I did the noisy cricket from Men in Black.
Yeah, you know.
That's that silence double tap.
Oh yeah.
You don't know what that means.
I'm sorry. I did. I always thought about the noisy cricket.
Little cricket.
But so yeah, that's it, man. There's differences in leadership styles. The kid has a lot to learn. I think that right now we're in.
No doubt that he knows. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, because he questions it constantly.
Yeah, he knows.
Am I doing this? How do I not? Yeah, no.
He knows what he's doing. It's just,
but he's not implementing well. He's what he's asking and learning. He's not.
His shoulders aren't big enough. He's not quite Atlas.
Takes a lot of years, a lot of.
One of his shoulders.
Not yet can handle the world.
Yeah, one of his shoulders is dipping. It's a little too heavy. This is a therapy session. I feel
that right arm
much better now.
Don't have weight off your shoulders.
I feel so much better now.
That right arm's pretty strong though.
All right, I think on that one we'll go ahead and wrap up. It's been a fun shift, an unplanned shift. This is a good
for the
one.
record, I love y'all's at the record. I do. I really do.
But and no mention of Star Wars.
Wow.
Yeah, no.
I had one loaded up that I wanted to say, but it was so off topic. If we ever do an episode about Star Wars, perhaps I will say that.
Okay, make that happen.
I don't know.
I'm sure we are a dedicated bunch.
Stay tuned.
But so
keep your finger on the pulse.
If you made it this far into this episode, please like and subscribe, leave some comments,
and you are
show
a champ.
some love, share it around.
Please.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Check out if you want to help support the channel. Check out the coffee page, ko-fi.com/Nightwatch Podcast. Check out the Facebook page, Nightwatch Podcast on Facebook.
Please.
Everybody have a good night.
Have a good night, guys.
Aloha.
Alright, time to empty out the mop bucket, run the trash, and hit the lights. Go get off my time clock, and be safe getting home.